You travel in Central Illinois, take WHOW, the Big 1520 with you in your car, truck, or tractor. Just another reason why WHOW is Central Illinois' news, agriculture, and talk station.
From the Heart Media Group newsroom and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this expanded morning newscast. Good morning and thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Ben Hubbard. The news is brought to you by Baum Chevy Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters, as well as Connexus, offering fiber internet in Clinton. Click their icon on DeWittDailyNews.com to find out more. The Clinton Board of Education took a step forward Tuesday night to better equip its teachers in the classroom with the long-term goal of improving achievement scores at the elementary grade levels. On the WHOW Morning Show Monday, Assistant Superintendent Kara Jensen told the Heart Media Group that instructional coaches should be viewed as teachers alongside teachers.
An instructional coach is really job-embedded professional development. It is a teacher with experience who, whether that be with the current curriculum or just success in the classroom as well. It's a way for the district to invest in the instructional supports of their teachers and really look for ways to support our staff with that job embedded. Keep in mind that the positions not necessarily are a promotion. And so I just want to clarify that. I think that's important to note. These are our teachers are part of the union, the instructional coaches. They are teachers alongside teachers. Mm-hmm. That's actually a really important clarification, Seth, because they are not in a hierarchy per se. Mm-hmm. They are teachers alongside teachers. And so that's how you kind of embed that trust, is that they are one of them, right? Mm-hmm. And so us over here at times where we want to work collaboratively, but it is teachers working with teachers.
An instructional coach will provide a level of ongoing support that sometimes temporary curriculum installation cannot. Jensen explains that the instructional coaches will provide many different variations of support to teachers.
Tonight at the board meeting, we are recommending there's 2 coaches that we are looking to hire, and that those coaches will be K-5 for that first year, and really looking at a way to first build relationships. That is the number one successful factor in a coaching model, is trusting relationships. Mm-hmm. As educators, it is our craft is very personal, mm-hmm. and we're very passionate about that. And so now we're opening up our classroom to someone else to come in and support. You have to be a bit vulnerable in that. And so it really is about building relationships to start, that our coaches are here to support teachers. Mm-hmm. They're not supporting administration. They're not supporting the district level. They're really for the development and support of educators. Mm-hmm. And so some of that might come in, like I said, that might be co-teaching. So mm-hmm. a coach may come in during a reading lesson and support by co-teaching with the teacher. Mm-hmm. It could be meeting with them, with teachers weekly, to look at lesson plans. Mm-hmm. Are we really sticking to the non-negotiables of the curriculum? It might be development of small group lessons as well. Mm-hmm. So the coaching model or program really has a different way to meet a variety of teacher needs. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily specific to one thing. Mm-hmm. Where again, if you heard in when a consultant comes in, they deliver and they're out. Mm-hmm. So this gives us the greatest widespread development of teachers, because teachers are able to kind of do what they're comfortable with.
According to Jensen, an instructional coach will help students have a similar experience across all grade levels in how the material is presented to them. She points out that this hasn't always been in alignment, which impacts student achievement.
It wasn't necessarily a direct relation to the report card data. What we're also seeing is an alignment with our curriculum. Mm-hmm. So in this past year, we have taken on 2 new ELA, English Language Arts curriculums. We have taken on a reading program and then a foundational skills program, and think of that more around in phonics or word study. So we've asked educators to take on 2 new things in a year. And while that might seem on the outside, well, that seems simple, right? You just take the manual and you deliver the content. It's not quite that easy. You're making instructional decisions daily on what is best out of that manual to deliver to your students. And so when you look at alignment in the classroom, instructional coaching can help ensure that a student's experience is equitable. So no matter if I'm in Seth's classroom or Kara's classroom, we have similar experiences in the contents that's delivered.
Okay.
And so a coach helps to align that in conversations, in helping with lesson development. So what we were seeing over the years in Clinton is that there was a lack of alignment at times, and not necessarily inside the grade level, because teams do work together very well, but it was happening from grade level to grade level, where their experiences were a bit different in what they were getting exposed to in the curriculum.
While some may question the fundamental role of an instructional coach and reduce it to training a staff member who should not need assistance of this kind, Jensen sees it differently. She compares it to learning new systems in other jobs.
Well, I think we have to change our mindset of what that is, because an instructional coach isn't there to necessarily teach the teacher. That's not what this purpose is. There is guidance involved in that. And so it is based in those relationships of improvement. And so I think whenever we look at ourselves as adults, and anytime you're in a job, yes, it would be great to say, Seth, you're going to now learn a new computer system. And you, because you've had experience in a different computer system, you should be just fine to handle that new system. It doesn't really work that way.
Right.
I'm sure behind the scenes, you have support desks that you can call. Behind the scenes, you have others who have been using it. And so we all experience that in different ways in our jobs. And so to say a teacher should have everything they need, I think would be a bit naive of a district to come in with that mindset that
Okay.
we don't need to continue to develop our educators, as education is also changing at the same time.
The Board of Education approved the hiring unanimously on Tuesday. The district is moving Elizabeth Pirtle from a third grade teacher to an instructional coach. Additionally, Cassie Mann was approved, who will join the Clinton staff next year. Cuts to transportation dollars are forcing a local school district to consider making significant changes to its school schedule. On the WHOW Morning Show Monday, Maroa-Forsyth School Superintendent Adam Ibbotson told the Hart Media Group that the state prorated its transportation funding last year, and it is becoming increasingly likely that those dollars will be cut further in the years ahead.
What ends up happening from the state of Illinois is we are required to transport students to school. That's a mandated categorical. Essentially, it's the school bus. So to get kids to and from school, we have to track those miles, and we turn in those miles at the end of the school year, and then the state reimburses us at a certain dollar figure for that. And that's also for our students with special needs that we transport to different schools, maybe other placements along the way. That also gets reimbursed as well. So over time, what ends up happening is we get a portion of that back to help offset the cost, because we're mandated to transport kids within a certain radius of the school. It's 1.5 miles, as long as it's not designed to be a hazard. So what happened last year, and this really kind of started even the year before, but now that I'm in my second year as superintendent, I saw it last year. What we turned into the state of Illinois, we were shorted $229,000 in that reimbursement. Out of the grand total, I can't remember if it was $1 million or so and change, but essentially we were shorted $229,000 of what we should have received. Yeah, so we turned that in, didn't get back $229,000. What the state has done is they're using this term called proration, meaning that they're not giving you the full amount, they're giving you part of that.
According to Ibbotson, this is putting a strain on his transportation budget. Cuts to mandated categoricals are already planned for next year.
That puts pressure on us as a district where we have to fill in those funds from other sources, whether it be local property tax, whether it be other state funding like the evidence-based funding formula, corporate replacement taxes, whatever that other thing is, we got to fill that bucket back in. So our bucket is missing the $229,000 for this year. And that money helps pay for bus drivers, buses, the lease, all those things that go into transportation. So this year, whenever they submitted the ask from the State Board of Ed for transportation, they asked for $151 million to go towards these mandated programs like transportation. In the governor's budget address, he fully funded the evidence-based funding formula, which is huge for us. That has created since 2017 a really a steady piece of funding that schools can count on. And you're held harmless to what you got the year before, and then it's divided over the 4 tiers, which we talked about that before. Well, those categoricals have continually got less, and less, and they're at about a 70% range of what we should have gotten. We talked about 25% of what we should have. Next year, that number may go down to 60% of what we should receive. The governor, instead of funding $151 million into that, only funded $50 million.
Finding a mitigation strategy for those dollars has been top of mind for Ibbotson. He is looking to scale back the number of buses the district utilizes by stacking bus routes.
In the meantime, as superintendent, I'm looking for ways that we can streamline, that we can be more efficient with the money that we have in order to still keep operations fully functional. And that's the challenge that we've started working through. We also have a shortage of bus drivers. Not as many people want to drive the buses before, and then still trying to get all of our kids that were mandated to and from school every single day. So I put out a survey to our staff and our parents about 3 weeks ago, asking about the possibility of looking at our schedule to stack bus routes. Currently, most of our routes only pick up middle school or high school kids, and the other set of drivers only pick up the grade school students. Well, that creates a bus lease of about 18 buses. And we have at any point 6 to 7 buses that are sitting on the parking lot not being used during a day. So when that bus lease comes up in another year, we could potentially save several dollars, $100,000 a bus by not, we essentially would turn those in on the lease.
Additionally, school start times are also up for change with this proposal by Ibbotson. He indicates there are a lot of logistical hurdles to clear, but to make a stacked bus route plan work, they need to adjust the start of the school day at each of its campuses.
So in order to do that, we have to be able to consolidate and not have as many routes. So the proposal to both staff and to our parents, would you be interested in flipping the bus schedules and stacking them to where someone would go pick up the grade school first and then maybe go do the middle school, high school, so we can double dip those drivers and be more efficient. In order to do that, I need a 25-minute stagger between the drop-off time at one school and the drop-off time at the other school. Maroa-Forsyth typically always had our grade school kids. They've always gone second, and our high school kids have started earlier. So, for example, first hour at the high school, middle school starts at 8:05. Our grade school kids start at 8:25. We've had to be creative this year to stack 3 bus routes and provide some other staffing to like house kids, and some kids are later off their buses. So I asked the community and I asked our teachers, what if we stagger this? And while we're staggering, would you be interested in flipping who goes first? Meaning, okay, instead of the high school, middle school going first, what if our grade school kids went first?
Ibbotson indicates early responses to that have been favorable. He is doing one final outreach with the community next Tuesday, March 24th, when he will host an open house to allow the community to weigh in.
Initial responses from staff was favorable to flipping it. Parents initially was favorable to flipping it. So the next step is, okay, here's what the brass tax schedules look like. What are you more interested in? Because childcare is a big thing for my elementary school kids who wait for their middle school or high schooler to get off the bus first. How would we accomplish that? And then for my after school kiddos at the middle school and high school, how does that affect practices and after school pieces? So I will be resurveying with some more specifics now that I have enough general interest. And I'm going to host a town hall meeting next Tuesday, the 24th, at the grade school at 6 o'clock and do a little presentation. And then I'll ask for parents to ask questions, have comments, what those look like, and then resurvey everyone to see where they're at.
Gotcha.
I need to make a decision once we get back from break because we're making plans for what drivers look like, what do routes look like. And if we are going to flip who goes first, that would be a big change. Regardless of if we flip it or not, one campus is going to need to start earlier than the current campus does. One campus is going to need to start later. And it really depends on which one would you prefer out of the two.
With this planning for the next school year underway, Ibbotson says they will be looking to make final decisions on this in the first part of April. Again, the meeting for next week is Tuesday, March 24th at 6 p.m. at the Maroa-Forsyth Grade School. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. Let's take a quick break with a word from our sponsors.
March into Baum Chevrolet Buick and march out with a new Chevrolet. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton and Farmer City. We have over 20 Silverados to fit your daily work needs in 1500, 2500, and 3500s in gas or diesel, all sale priced. Also, check out the Colorado pickup. This size and maneuverability may be another option as well. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. Baum Chevrolet Buick, right from the start.
Experience the power of better connection with Connexus Fiber Internet. Connexus delivers ultra-fast, reliable speeds to keep you connected at the speed of life. Whether you're working from home, streaming your favorite shows, or gaming with your friends, Connexus has you covered. Say goodbye to buffering and dropped calls and say hello to fiber fast internet. Ready to upgrade your connection? Sign up today by clicking the Connexus icon at DeWittDailyNews.com. Nothing connects us like Connexus.
News time is 25 minutes after the top of the hour. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. The University of Illinois is putting a call out for volunteers to help in the mission of 4-H to help develop the community's youth. Marissa Capps is a 4-H educator at the University of Illinois Extension in DeWitt, Macon, and Piatt counties, and explains that they are always looking for more program volunteers. While many may fear that they have to be an expert on teaching to give their time, she points to the special interest clubs that allow for focused work on just a single topic.
We are always looking for volunteers, right? That's always something that we're trying to push. And that word kind of seems to scare people, but it shouldn't be scary at all, especially with 4-H. We're not looking for experts. We're looking for people with passions that would like to share their passions with youth who are wanting to learn new trades and new crafts and new things to do. We have things called spin clubs, which are special interest clubs, and they can meet six times a year, so 6 1-hour meetings if you'd like, and that special interest club can be specifically about one thing. Like you can have a crocheting club, and every meeting they come in and they do something different, but it's about crocheting. So you don't have to be an expert in 4-H. You can just be an expert in something that you enjoy, and maybe not even an expert, but just somebody who's really passionate about something they enjoy.
Nice.
And want to share it with youth.
Sure. The Master Gardeners program is also in need of volunteers, which is great for those who have a passion for gardening. Cap adds that 4-H show volunteers are another big place of need.
Outside of 4-H, we have master naturalists, master gardeners. They are always looking for good volunteers. Those master gardeners and master naturalists, they do really wonderful things. They go out into the community and do programming with the community as well. So being able to share their love and passion with other people for nature and for gardening and for, the things that make them excited. That's another wonderful thing about Extension. But yeah, 4-H, we're always looking for people. Besides, outside of club leaders, we're looking for volunteers for our 4-H show in July. We need judges, but we're always looking for people to help. If you hear that 4-H has a big event coming up, you can always reach out to your local Extension office and see how you can help.
To learn more about volunteer opportunities with the Extension in DeWitt, Macon, and Piatt counties, visit extension.illinois.edu/DMP or find them on Facebook. Last week's storms serve as a good reminder to review your property and insurance policies, says Jesse Kohlbecker, Vice President of Claims and Client Services for Country Financial.
So we encourage an annual visit with your agent to really understand your coverages and make sure that your planning and protection needs are met. I'll tell you, on an annual basis, household needs change and things change in that home. So it's always a good idea to sit down and make sure you fully understand what coverages you have well ahead of storm season.
As of late last week, Country Financial had responded to around 2,000 claims stemming from wind and hail damage from the March 10th and 11th storms moving through Illinois. It's getting to the time of year when you may be looking for some extra help keeping the outside of your home looking good. Whether you are looking for a lawn care service or a landscaper, the Better Business Bureau wants you to do your homework before hiring a company to do the job.
And if you're going to do something intricate to your backyard, which may have them do some plan work, it might cost you some money to do that. So know that up front, and know that before you even come out or before that business even comes out and says, hey, are you going to come take a look for free, or am I going to have to pay you some type of service fee to come out and take a look at my yard? Most of them probably will come out initially just to look for free because they want your business. But from there on out, they might charge you some money for some of these services that they offer.
O'Brien suggests you ask for references and pictures of other jobs they installed or maintained. If possible, visit these locations to get a first-hand view of the quality of their work and get specifics on prices and be clear on what services are included. Get news anytime from your computer or your mobile device from DeWitt County's #1 source for news, sports, police blotter, obituaries, and more. DeWittDailyNews.com. Network news is now.
With SRN News, I'm Greg Clugston in Washington. Israel's defense minister says the military killed top Iranian security official in an overnight strike. The military also announces it has killed the head of a Revolutionary Guard militia. Hundreds of flights are canceled or delayed today after those strong storms dumped snow across parts of the upper Midwest yesterday and also brought high winds and rain to the east. Air travelers are facing long lines at security checkpoints as TSA screening is being stretched by the partial government shutdown. A man who spent nearly 2 decades in prison for a roughly $550 robbery has been exonerated and freed. Prosecutors say they now agree that Kenneth Winley did not commit the crime. As he left a New York courthouse yesterday, the 61-year-old Winley said the wrongful conviction cost him 20 years, but they corrected it now. This is SRN News.
A Social Security update. 70 million Americans collect Social Security benefits today, and millions more will join soon. Now, a new study finds 70% of Americans don't get the full benefits they deserve. But recipients can use simple strategies to boost Social Security benefits by as much as $188,000 over a lifetime. Social Security expert Michael Allen says it's true and reveals 5 key strategies to increase your benefits. It's all in his free special report. Newsmax calls the report your best guide for bigger Social Security benefits. Whether you're getting benefits or soon will, you need the Social Security report. Get it free. Call 800-999-9690. 800-999-9690. We'll text it to you right away, along with President Trump's act cutting your Social Security taxes. Call now, 800-999-9690. 800-999-9690. Text and data rates may apply.
From the Hart Media Group Sports Desk, IL Sports Wire, and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this local sports report. The Mount Pulaski baseball team has been hungry to return to the state championship since its first appearance in 2022. This year's team returns most of its experience from last year's team that fell in a 1A sectional championship. Senior Luke Martin says while they lost 2 big-time contributors from last year's team, he's confident in the group they have this year to get back to the state finals.
I'm feeling really good. We lost 2 key seniors last year. Chance Payne, he was a stud for us. He hit like 500. And Liam Smith, I mean, he was one of our go-to arms in the infield and on the mound. But we got 6 seniors this year. We're feeling pretty good. A couple of us next week, we have our first game against the Nokomis. We'll be gone in Washington, D.C. So the last 5 or 6 years, we've been 20 wins a season. So I've been lucky to be a part of that. My brother, he kind of started that. They went to state his senior year, and so ever since all of us, we've been in the crowd watching that state tournament up at ISU, and it was like, we want to get here. And we did our 8th grade year, and one last go, and I mean, want not to lose and try to win it all. Our goal, we're hosting a regional this year, and so, I mean, it's going to be good to win that at home, and we just like to really take it one game at a time when we're getting up into that postseason range. And I mean, what we do here inside, I mean, we really like to focus on the fundamentals. I mean, we do a lot of base running and glove work, and just as much as we can, we just break down the fundamentals here, and I love it. Saying just the small parts of the game, we're going to do right. We do that every single day here in practice, and that's why we're good. I mean, our base running's one of the top in the area. I mean, we're just really good at it.
Aaron Voley emerged as a reliable contributor as a sophomore and is looking to be more of a contributor in 2026. He credits Chance Payne and Liam Smith as 2 players who helped guide him in his first dip into varsity experience.
Well, I learned a lot from the older guys. You know, I have a lot more responsibilities now. But yeah, I learned just a lot about the game and, you know, respect and all that from them last year. So if something goes wrong, you can't think about it. Just got to keep going and just play to the best of your ability. Really. We are going to be short on arms a little bit this year with losing a couple guys, but, you know, it is what it is, and I'm just going to have to fill some more shoes and have a bigger role this year, really. So, yeah, just stay focused as much as I can and really just go up there and pitch. I like our chemistry. I think we have a lot of chemistry because we've been playing for so long together now, and it's going to be a fun year, really. Postseason, it kind of ended not the way we wanted to the last couple of years. You know, we still won our regionals, but I want to get to that next step this year, really. But yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to this year. We're making it evident that we want to win that sectional this year.
Senior Eric Cooper believes this might be the most balanced team he's seen in 4 seasons at Mount Pulaski. From freshmen through seniors, he is hoping his 4 years at the varsity level will pay off for him this season.
Yeah, we've had some good years in the past, and I think it all depends on the work that we've put into it. And we've had good kids that's bought into the program. We've had good coaches that have led it to us. So it's just kind of carrying on that tradition of every time we put on the jersey, just playing hard and playing for the boys you've been growing up with, that we've been playing with since we've been young, and the community too, because we've been lucky and fortunate that the community comes out and supports us every home game. So that first home game, we start the year against Nokomis. I'm really looking forward to it, and I think we got a bunch to show. We're losing 2 big seniors this year, but hopefully we got guys that are stepping up that can carry on the tradition of playing good quality Mount Pulaski baseball. Each year you kind of learn a different thing, and just the adversity factor. Nothing in baseball goes exactly how you plan. One inning might go better and one inning might not. So just keeping that level head, keeping the emotions, we try and keep them high, because a game's never over until that last out's there. So we're just trying to keep it level head, and being a senior, playing a couple of years, just guiding the guys, being the right example on the field, working hard every day, running the ball out if you're hitting on the infield, and just giving max effort, because at the end of the day it comes to an end, and hopefully our season can keep progressing if we work hard to see goals that we want. But it all just depends on working hard and taking one game at a time, one pitch at a time. I really like this team. I've been on 4 good teams, and I really like the team we got this year. I think our pitching is one of our biggest strengths. We got a lot of guys on the mound that's had experience in the past that's really been crucial. Our number 1, he pitched in the regional championship for us last year, and he threw really meaningful innings the years before. So I think our pitching is kind of one of our upsides to it, just because guys stepped up as juniors and sophomores throwing. So we've got those varsity innings under our belt. But I think defensively we'll be solid this year. Again, we got guys that are competing every day, working, trying to get a spot. And then offensively, it's just one game at a time. Kind of pick up on tendencies of a pitcher, and then work from there. But I really like the team we got this year. I think if we work hard, we should hopefully achieve some of the goals that we got. Absolutely. We got one, Chase Roberts. He was kind of hit or miss last year. He was in the lineup, and it wasn't in the lineup. He was battling with a senior for a catcher spot. But this year, I think he's going to see a big role big uptake in that because I think he's going to be a really good kid on the mound. He didn't see many innings last year, but I think from what I've seen, the increases he's had, and I know the work he puts outside of this, I think he's going to have a really big jump this year on the offensive side and defensive side. Offensively, he's really solid. I think I could see him batting kind of up towards the top of the lineup, getting things started every game. He brings a lot of energy, kind of got quickness on the base pass that you ultimately like and look for. So I think as a sophomore, I think his role is going to increase a bunch, and I could see really good things coming from him.
Coach Troy Burgard is challenging his team early this year with baseball powerhouses in 1A and 2A. He believes those challenging games early will be crucial down the stretch of this season.
I mean, we've won 20 wins in the last 6 seasons in a row. So we want to keep that going. It's going to be a tough task this year. We've got a really stacked schedule. We've got, starting off the bat, second week, we got St. Joe Ogden, Williamsville, and Litchfield are all really good teams. I mean, we've got a lot of other good teams. Jacksonville, Route. There's so many teams that could win 20, 30 games on our schedule. So, but yeah, we've got high expectations, back-to-back regionals. But we're hungry for another, and we want a sectional this year. Yeah. That's kind of our big goal. We've come up short of our goal the last couple of years, and we don't like that feeling at the end of the year. We want to get that sectional, and the way that we can get there is by seeing those top tier arms, seeing 85 plus, because that's what we're going to see when we want to get to that spot. So we can't go and face teams that are going to be seeing 70 mile an hour. So yeah, right. We may take our lumps along the way here and there, but it's going to make us better, and we want to be playing our best ball, most prepared ball come postseason. I love our pitching. I love our experience. We got a lot of guys coming back pitching, and just we've had a lot of guys coming back that have eaten up a lot of our innings. Only missing about 12 innings from last year. So we've got all of our arms back -1. Hopefully we'll get Coop back on the mound at some point. Yeah, I like our experience in our pitching. That's really led us the last few years. Sure.
Mount Pulaski travels to Nokomis on Thursday to open up the spring baseball season. The LeRoy Panthers will be leaning on a core of 3 experienced seniors on an otherwise young baseball team. Head coach Wayne Meyer explains that he graduated 7 starting seniors from last year's 19-9 team, so his 3 current seniors will have to work hard to fill the void in leadership and production. While he does have a good group of juniors, none of them has varsity experience.
We did have a lot of seniors last year. We had 7 starts, and we had a very good season. We won. We're at 19-9. We got a piece of the small school division title in our conference, which is a tough conference. And I have 3 seniors, all of whom played a lot last year. Jack Bogamo, the second team all-conference selection, a really good player, the shortstop, pitching for us. Jordan Cox and Tate Harden are my other 2, and they both played a ton. Jordan's a catcher, first baseman, a little bit of pitching, and then Tate's outfield, and he pitches as well. So those 3 are my only seniors, and they are the only 3 with any real experience. So I've got a good junior base. I've got 8 or 9 kids out in that class, but all of them were JV last year, so none of them have kind of gone through what it's like going against varsity competition game in, game out. And then I've got a couple sophomores as well that they'll be dressing, and they're going to find different ways to contribute as well. So we just we need to play games and evaluate and just kind of start to see what questions we can get answered. And only time's going to do that, I guess.
It's every team's goal to be playing their best baseball as the postseason arrives. Coach Meyer says accomplishing that is all about pairing individual progress with team progress and getting better as a group.
Well, it's easy from a coaching standpoint. This is my, if you don't count COVID year, this is my 30th year as head coach. So I've had a lot of teams go through, and I've learned baseball is patient. It's one of those where the end goal, what we look like in March versus April versus May, and kind of blend individual progress with team progress and see where we can go. And for my kids who are not seniors, you have to also frame it out of the season. So in 27, what do we need to do here to get you ready for 27? For my sophomores, what do we need to do to get you ready for 28? So you kind of go from the tiniest detail out to the biggest picture, And I try to really get the kids, you just worry about the here and now and let us put the pieces together, not only for the week, for the month, for the season, but the future as well. And you try to create that good atmosphere of, there's going to be hard times. We're going to work. We're going to stay together. And you can't let failure create negativity. And you have to keep going forward, and it's always a process.
Despite some inexperience, Myers does not feel that they will struggle with depth on the offensive or defensive side of the game. He is focused more on process and development than wins and losses.
We've got enough depth. It's not like we have any big holes. We need kids to get playing time to evaluate a lot of things, but we'll be able to put out a team that can defensively make all the basic plays. I've got pitching depth. I don't have a lack of pitching. I just have a lot of guys who've thrown no varsity innings. So we'll rely on 8-9 as our base kind of staff for the varsity. And those kids should be able to cover the innings. It's just a matter of who can get the outs and who's more efficient and does the job within pitch counts and things like that. But we should be able to compete, and I think that's where you start. I never talk much about wins and losses. Just process. Do things correctly over and over and over, and you'll start to see results and hopefully success as well. And that's kind of how we'll frame it. Hitting wise, we may be able to hit it well. It just going from JV pitching to varsity pitching is big. That's a big leap. And honestly, guys just need a bat to be able to see. Defensively, I do feel like we'll be fine. We'll see who can turn into plus defenders, but I think we should be able to go out and play basic baseball. We can build from there.
Coach Meyer has been happy with the attitude and determination of his kids this year. The LeRoy Panthers kick off the season next Friday when they take on the Meridian Hawks at home. First pitch is at 4:30 p.m. Josh Giddey had 16 points, 15 rebounds, and 13 assists for his fourth triple-double in 5 games. And the Chicago Bulls blew out the Memphis Grizzlies 132-107 on Monday night to hand the depleted Grizzlies their 8th straight loss. Mattis Buzelis led the Bulls with 29 points, including 5 three-pointers. The second-year forward, who was the 11th pick in the 2024 draft, has logged 3 of his highest 4 scoring totals of his career in just the last 3 weeks. Trey Jones added 17 points, and Rob Dillingham had 15 off the bench for the Bulls, who started a 4-game homestand by winning for just the 5th time in their last 23 games. The Bulls, who are in 12th place in the Eastern Conference and 6 games out of the last play-in spot, outscored the Grizzlies 71-50 in the second half. Cedric Coward led the Grizzlies with 17 points on 7 for 13 shooting, and Jalen Wells and Taylor Hendricks each added 16 points. The Grizzlies, who have shelved standout Zach Edey for the remainder of the season and not had star Ja Morant play for nearly 2 months, were without starters Ty Jerome and Gigi Jackson. Memphis is 3-15 in its last 18 games. Memphis hosts Denver on Wednesday, while Chicago hosts Toronto on Wednesday. Former Chicago Bears defensive back Nahshon Wright more than doubled his 2025 earnings thanks to a bonus from the NFL's performance-based pay program. The league announced on Monday that more than $542 million will be paid out to players for their performance in 2025 through the program, with Wright receiving the most at more than $1.4 million.